Welcome to day 20 of our January Challenge 2023. We're going to complete our first section of melody today. Then tomorrow will be a rest day where we pull all that together. So I'm going to start from yesterday's learning and play into today. You'll notice there's quite a few lever changes. There's some options around that which I'll go through with you as well, should you be finding those tricky to do at speed. But remember, this is also all about developing your skills as players. And skills, harp skills and lever harp skills does involve becoming more confident with incorporating lever changes as you go as well. So it's a good one to persevere with. Okay, I'm going to start with yesterday's learning and I'm all set up lever-wise for that. So here I go. This is your demonstration, so I won't count you in. Here I go. And that's going to lead us back to the beginning of the melody again. Okay, let me just reset my levers and we're going to start now at the beginning of the new bit. So for you to join me there, normal levers, you'd have the D, an octave and a note above middle C as before, and you would have the G above middle C would be on from what we did yesterday. Okay, so starting today, I actually want to start with the left hand, which involves all these levers as well. So the left hand starts with an F triad. We did do one of those yesterday. Notice it's got a squiggle next to it telling us to roll. So it's a tarium. Don't overthink that. Don't try and separate it too much, but that's what it is. It's a ripple upwards from the lowest note to the top. So tarium, with the being the important note. Okay, now as soon as I've played that, no matter what's happening in the top hand, I'm going to allow that tarium to encourage my hand movement towards me, which it kind of does. Wants to lead towards me, which is great because I want to get to this F lever just here. I'm going to pop that on and I'm going to get rid of the G that we had yesterday. Okay, and then I'm going to play a C triad, middle C, C, E, G, and again a tarium. Okay, so I can do that triad there. Okay, then moving down, opening up to G and F. So it's almost an octave, so I'm going to do that with 4 and 1. So my thumb is on the F just above middle C, my 4 is on the G below middle C. There's no rolling here, so that's just a straight chord. Okay, and then we're going to go to middle C, and then those notes again. However, you'll notice I missed out a couple of levers, so that are written on the music. So I have this chord down here. I immediately take my attention all the way up here. Now this will be easier to do because your right hand is playing these notes. So it won't be as big a weird thing to bring your hand all the way up here. And it's the D lever, the highest D on a 34 string harp. I need to put it on, but I'm going to almost immediately take it off. So I'm keeping my fingers grasping that lever so I can then take it immediately off again. And then I can come back for middle C, which is a lovely bright red colour, and then back to that G and F chord. Okay, so that's the crux of that. We will do more of that as we pull it together in with the right hand. I'm not going to reiterate that just this moment. But to reset yourself for the beginning of this line, the only thing you need to do is we're going to get rid of the F, an octave and a bit above middle C, and we'll just reapply the G above middle C there. Okay, so the right hand is very high, it's all the way up here, but you've just been playing the end of yesterday. We had the E, we're coming down one note, thumb on the D, finger 2 on the C, third finger on the A. And we play 1, 2, 3, 1, wait, 2, 3. So we just repeat those notes. So I'm going to play 1, I'm going to play 2, I'm going to get my thumb ready again as I play finger 3, back on with 1, and these 2 and 3s can bump on, wait, and then 2, 3. Okay, so we'll just try that in time. Okay, da, 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 dum, da, dum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Wait. Good, brilliant. That's going to come down. Now in that time, our left hand will have put the F sharp on and got rid of the G. And now I'm going to have my thumb on the G. I'm going to put finger 3 on the F though, because I'm going to be playing 3 notes in a row going up in a sec. So I play the G, then all 3 in a row go on, play finger 3. And then before I play the thumb, I'm putting 2 and 3 back on, only 3 is now on an E, so it's opened up a bit. I play my thumb, wait, 2, 3. Okay, so we should have the F sharp. Let's just try that again. So thumb on the G, 3rd finger on the F, okay? We play the thumb, just walk through it. We put all 3 fingers on in a row. We play finger 3, we play finger 2. Thumbs firmly on. We're going to go back on with 2 and 3, but just opening up a gap between them. So we're skipping over the F. And we play A, G, E. Okay, go back onto that again. This time we'll play it in time. Okay, nice and steady so you can just think through it. Da, 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 dum, ba, dum. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and wait. Good. And ideally, you haven't come off on that top A. You're already firmly fixed either side of the black, ideally. Okay, that will give you much more security as you play if you can do that. Okay, let's put those 2 bars together in the right hand. Okay, not worrying about the levers as the moment. The F sharp won't get in the way of what we're doing, and we need it by the 2nd bar, so that's fine. So starting at the beginning of the line, D, C, A, D, C, A, and G, da, da, D, da, dum. Just so we pull those together. Ready? I'll give you 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and wait and good. Let's try that one more time. Go up to the D, C, A. Don't overthink it. Once you're on, try not to look. Okay, and let your shoulders drop down. 3 and 4 and excellent, well done. Okay, we then leap up to the E. We've just finished on an E here, so we're leaping up an octave. I personally am just probably going to, unlike in my other pieces, I'm probably going to allow myself to just play the E with 1, 1, 1, and I'm going to have my 2 firmly fixed on the D. As I'm playing all these E's, so we've got a long E and then a further 2 E's. As those are playing, I'm putting on the D sharp with the left. Okay, so E, E, E. I'm leaving my hand on the D sharp, lever, see how it's there. Playing that D with a finger 2 and then letting my finger 2 go back on the same note and taking that lever off. And then I might play with the C with a 3, even though I haven't particularly placed into it. And this hand comes back to middle C. Then we have the G in the F chord and a G here. Okay, so there'll be a bit of putting together to do that. So should we just try those 2 bars? We're going to do E, 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 D sharp, D. Okay, my cat's come to say hello. Left hand, I want you to join that in a bit as well if you can, just so that it does chord and then jumps up to this lever. Okay, so my top hand is fixed on the E with a thumb and my finger 2's on the D for when it's going to come in. Really steady for the moment. And when I say lever, it's the D1 all the way up here. Okay, 3 and 4 and 1 and getting the lever ready. Then straight off 4 and red and 2 and G chord. It's a G7 chord because from G up to the F that sits in that chord is 7 notes. So we call that a G7. All right. And that G7 makes it very clear we're not at the end of a piece, even though we've got to the end of our first section of melody. Okay. Quite a long teaching video, this one, so I won't stick around too much longer, but just to give you actually a couple of options. Okay, this piece actually appears in certainly in a Great Britain exam syllabus, and as such you need to do the lever changes in the correct way and the way it's written. Okay, if you are playing it purely for your own enjoyment, one of your options, and this is one that Tamsin has written in her own version of this, is that having done the G sharp Then we go to this F chord and we change that. If we don't have time to take that G off, when we do the C triad, just don't play the thumb, just do C and E. Then you've got time to take it off, and then you go to this chord. Okay, so that's just moving when you take the G off to give you a bit more time. The other alternative, and this is only if you're playing it for fun, or rather if you're playing it for fun only, is you could actually miss out the G altogether. It would be a bit sad because it is quite key to the feel. So if I were to miss out that G altogether, let me just reset my levers to be able to do that. And if I started at what we started with yesterday, it would sound like this. Okay, so it allows me to miss out having to put a G on and take it off, so it gets rid of 2 changes. And if you're playing in an ensemble where other people will put the G in, then that's a great idea. It survives without the G. You don't know what's missing until you then hear it, and then you go, oh yeah, that G sharp's nice. So in the bar that had the G sharp, I obviously missed out the G note altogether, so I just played E and B. So that's your alternative there. I feel like I've thrown an awful lot at you today, all of a sudden. Good job. Tomorrow is a rest day, okay, where you can breathe and pull it all together, and there'll be a video tomorrow playing along everything we've done so far. In the meantime, join me on today's play along video when you feel like you're getting to grips with the notes and what's happening in this section. Okay, keep it up though, it's great, well done.